Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome to the sports segment of the weekend show. I'm Ayo Adams, and I'll be giving you all the updates from the AFCON and Premier League updates from World Cup, and also I'll be giving you the updates from the Australian Open happening in Melbourne. So the African Cup of Nations has gotten to its quarterfinals, and Burkina Faso lost their opening to host Cameroon in the opening fixture in a 2-1 encounter, then won 1-0 against Cape Verde in their second game and finished the group stage with 1-1 draw against Ethiopia. They finished second behind Cameroon in Group A with 4 points. Burkina Faso faced Gabon in the round of 16, where they now won 7-6 on penalties. Burkina Faso faces a tricky Tunisia, who knocked out Nigeria, who knocked out the favorite Nigeria in the round of 16. Senegal won their opening game in Group B against Zimbabwe with 97-minute penalty, and then they had a goalless draw against Guinea and Malawi. They finished top of the group, scoring only once, thereby becoming the first side since Zambia since 1994 to win their group while scoring only once. Senegal faced Cape Verde in the round of 16 knockout. This was Cape Verde's second appearance in the African Cup of Nations knockout. Senegal now face Equatorial Guinea in their quarterfinals in a meeting which they are favorites. Last year, host Egypt, the Pharaohs, started the tournament with an underwhelming performance to the Super Eagles of Nigeria, losing 1-0 goal scored by Kelechi Iheanacho. They went on to win against Sudan and Guinea-Bissau, scoring only once in each game. They finished second behind Nigeria in the group with 6 points. They faced tournament favorites Ivory Coast in the round of 16. After the gruesome 120 stalemate of game, the game was decided by a penalty shootout. The Pharaohs were victorious, winning 5-4 to set up a North African quarterfinal against Morocco on Sunday. And speaking about Morocco, they started their own AFCON with a 1-0 win over Ghana and went on to win Comoros in a 2-0 encounter and finished the group stage with 2-2 draw against Gabon. They were leaders of the Group C with 7 points, scoring 5 goals and conceding only twice. Morocco then faced Malawi in the round of 16, where Malawi were clearly the underdogs, as that was their first ever appearance in a knockout of the African Cup of Nations. Gabilino Mahango gave Malawi a shock lead in the earlier with a stunner from range before Achraf Hakimi and Yusuf El-Nassiri of Sevilla put the game to bed. It was a beautiful stunned free kick by Achraf Hakimi, which sealed the win in the 17th minute to set up the meeting with Egypt in the last 8. And now we'll talk about the host, Cameroon, by far being the most impressive team in the African Cup of Nations, winning all games in the group stages and scoring the most goals, 7 in number. They finished the group stage with 7 points, a 2-1 win over Burkina Faso in the opening game, followed by a 4-1 thrashing of Ethiopia, and then a 1-1 draw against Cape Verde. Their captain and marksman, Captain Vincent Abubakar, was the highest scorer of the group stages and was also dubbed as one of the best players in the tournament. Cameroon faced underdogs Comoros in the round of 16. The island country put up a good performance, having used using their players that they had on bench to win the game. Well, Cameroon now proceeded into the final stages of the tournament. And then moving on, we'll now show you the fixtures that we have of the African Cup of Nations. The quarterfinals fixture will start today, 29th, and finish on 30th, where we have Gambia, who will be taking on Cameroon. We have Burkina Faso, who will be taking on Tunisia, who knocked out Nigeria. Egypt, who were underperforming in their first game of the tournament, saw off Ivory Coast, who were one of the favorites, are now going to be facing Morocco, who saw off Malawi, and Senegal, will be waiting to see if their star man Sadio Mane is back after he took a head collision injury when they face off with Equatorial Guinea. Well, that's the fixtures for the AFCON 2021 quarterfinals. Make sure you see it. Let us know. Go to our Twitter page and Instagram and drop your prediction underneath. Let us know what you think. How do you think the last round would go? Who would move into the semifinals? Who will be the last 4 teams to move into the semifinal? Let us know on our Instagram handles and our Twitter page, and we would converse with you. Now, moving into the Premier League, and we have Watford, who have now appointed Roy Hodgson as new manager. The former England and Liverpool boss at 74 returns to the Premier League after leaving Crystal Palace at the end of last season. Watford sacked Claudio Ranieri on Monday, who they hired this season, whose last game was a 3-0 loss to relegation rivals Norwich. This is the 15th managerial change since Pozzo family took over the club in 2012. Roy Hodgson is tasked with the Premier League survival of Watford, who currently sit at 19th on the Premier League table. Ray Lewington, who managed Watford between 2002 and 2005, will join him as assistant, filling the same position he did under Roy Hodgson for England. And Crystal Palace first game against will be an away game to Burnley, who are at the bottom of the table on 5th February. Roy Hodgson has over 50 years of managerial experience and is currently the oldest coach in Premier League history. Still on the Premier League, we move to a player who was sought after, who had a lot of love shared to him, and who almost had us in tears at the opening of the Euros 2020. I'm talking about Christian Eriksen. Inter says Christian Eriksen will not be allowed to play in the SERIA A as a Dane midfielder was fitted with an implantable cardioverter defibrillator (ICD) after he suffered a cardiac arrest while playing for his team, Denmark, at the Euro 2020 against Finland. The club has released a statement saying that the Italian medical authorities have temporarily inhibited Eriksen from sporting activities in the current season. Francis Baccanero, a member of the Italian Football Federation Technical Scientific Committee, said in August that Eriksen will not be allowed to play in Italy unless the ICD is removed. Eriksen is currently training with Ajax to regain his fitness while he searches for another club. While Brentford are in the advanced talk with the former Tottenham man on a 6-month deal and are currently monitoring his fitness to play keenly. Eriksen needs to be signed by a club assigned sports cardiologist before he will be allowed to be registered for the Premier League. We wish Eriksen well, and we want to see him right on stage playing back football. Christian Eriksen is one of the best midfielders across the world. He's been relentless, and he's come back from a cardiac arrest. We wish he sees a club and gets back into playing football. Well, still talking about players who have been out of sorts, we move to Italy and the World Cup update where we talk about Mario Balotelli. Italy have recalled Mario Balotelli for the World Cup playoffs. Balotelli has not featured for the Azzurri since 2018, and due to lack of firepower in the Azzurri attack, Roberto Mancini has made a controversial call for the forward. Chiesa's season ended with an injury, and Immobile's lack of goal scoring for Italy has fueled the decision for him scoring only 15 times in 54 appearances for the Euro champions. While Balotelli is one goal less with 36 country appearances, Balotelli, who now plays for Turkish side Adana Demirspor, has found a little bit of form, scoring 8 goals in 20 appearances while starting only 15 games. Italy faced North Macedonia in the World Cup playoffs, with winner playing Turkey, winner of Turkey versus March. Mario Balotelli has been out for close to 4 years in action playing for his national team. As he's had antics. A lot of people call him talent and trouble. And speaking of the World Cup, the FIFA president, during a speech at the Council of Europe on Wednesday, FIFA President Gianni Infantino spoke about the global benefits of FIFA's plans to reform international calendar with a proposal for the biennial men's and women's World Cup. While speaking, he made a statement which came under scrutiny. He came under full scrutiny for the statement, and Kick-Out Chief responded. While Infantino's statement read, "We need to give hope to Africans so they do not need to cross the Mediterranean in order to find maybe a better life, but more probably death in the sea. We need to give opportunities, and we need to give dignity, not by giving charity, but by allowing the rest of the world to participate." This statement came under a lot of criticism as Kick-Out Chief Tony Bonnet responded saying, FIFA is a multi-billionaire profit-making organization. They already have funds in investing and creating opportunities. That why would they make such statement? Well, it was back and forth, and FIFA president finally came out to say that his statement was misinterpreted. And finally, let's move to tennis. As the first major Grand Slam of the year, the Australian Open will be coming to an end tomorrow in Melbourne, as we're going to see a star-studded final between Rafael Nadal, world number 5, against Russian world number 2, Daniil Medvedev. Nadal defeated Berrettini in the semifinal 6-3, 6-2, 3-6, 6-3. And then the second semifinal saw Daniil Medvedev defeated Greek superstar Stefanos Tsitsipas in a 7-6, 4-6, 6-4, and 6-1 tie. The final will now hold tomorrow in Melbourne, where world number 2 and current champion of the US Open, Daniil Medvedev, will be taking on the king of clay, Rafael Nadal, who will be looking to claim his 21st Grand Slam title. Also, the Australian Open will also have its women's final between Ashley Barty, world number 1, and Danielle Collins. Also be tossing it out who's going to take home the UEFA, the Australian Open Championship. Will let us know on our Twitter page. Are you a tennis fan like I am? Go to our Twitter page and Instagram page. Let us know between Daniil Medvedev and Rafael Nadal who's going to take the US Open. the Australian Open, or between Ashley Barty and Daniel Collins. Well, that's all I have for you on the sports segment of The Weekend Show. I hope you've enjoyed all the updates. See you next time. The Weekend Show is still on. Bye-bye.